10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Ninja vanish!
Well, hello.
Ninja vanish.
What's going on, everybody? How
Not
goes it?
much.
Everybody having a good weekend? Hello, Duke. And he's already fallen asleep.
That's a record.
Can you hear me now? Hey, what's up, man?
Oh, there he is. Okay. He woke up from his nap. He's
Here you go, Duke. Here's your Warhammer sword. I print it.
Oh, yeah, nice.
Get two different sizes.
I was afraid he had just passed out
No,
already.
what's up? So, hey, you see those new Joes that are out, my dude? Oh, man.
Which ones?
Well, I saw your Big Lob, which there
Yes.
hasn't been a Big Lob since the original Big Lob.
Yeah,
It
I
was
don't
only-
ever remember them doing another Big Lob after the one they released for the movie.
And he was never in any of the TV shows, which was sad.
Yeah.
Because none of them were. They were all great.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Made a point
but I
to induce Lieutenant Falcon and never saw him again.
there was
never-
a bunch
I think
of
the only
stuff.
one I remember from anything else is Tunnel Rat. Showed up in one of the, was it like Retaliation, or he showed up in
Yeah.
one of the cartoons in like the 2000s or something.
He was in that reboot one too. That was on.
It was the one on Hub, right?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
Hub.
Yeah. Was that not Retaliation? That's the one I'm thinking of.
It probably is. I can't remember the name of it.
Yeah.
I
So
just
that's
wa-
the only thing I
I
ever
watched it, but I wasn't a fan of it, and I didn't like the art style too.
Yeah, I watched a couple episodes. I think it was the one where they like they're bad guy, not bad guy. They get blamed.
They're basically the
by-
A-team. They got falsely
Yeah,
accused.
they get-
They're on the run.
Yeah, it's like Duke and Tunnel Rat and Snake Eyes and some other people. I don't remember who else. And they get blamed for something by a Cobra. They get framed, and they're on the run for whatever they got framed for. I don't remember much about it. I only watched a couple episodes, and it wasn't that good, to be honest.
It was.
But yeah, other than that, like Big Lob never showed up anywhere else. You know, Jinx never showed up anywhere else that I know of. Yeah, Falcon
Jinx
never
was
showed
in
up anywhere else. They were just only in the movie.
Jinx was in the comics.
She was? Oh, okay. See, I never read the comics. That's probably why. But yeah, no, they've released a bunch of them. I did my Big Lob, and so I've got that one, and then I've got Falcon, which we were actually just talking about last night because I did a head swap on him.
Mm-hmm.
But I got Falcon. Do I have any? I don't have Tunnel Rat Jinx hasn't been released yet. I haven't picked up Tunnel Rat. I don't know why. I need to pick Tunnel Rat up.
I finally not Big Bad Toaster. I ordered my Tunnel Rat from the Chosen Prime, and they get their stuff late sometimes from Hasbro. So I finally got Tunnel Rat.
Yeah, I haven't gotten Tunnel Rat yet. I need to get. I know they've released two different versions of them. Didn't they release a Night Force Tunnel Rat or something?
I think it's up still pre-order.
Yeah, I can't remember what it is. But anyway, I haven't picked up either of those. So like right now, as far as the movie goes, I just have Falcon and my Big Lob that I made. But I mean, I've got a bunch of others. I mean, the new retro stuff that they're finally coming out with, where they're actually releasing the characters, you know, with their original looks instead of their sci-fi Nerf looks, is awesome.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell they were thinking when starting the line out with their Fortnite crossover looking figures.
Yeah, I don't know. It was weird. I'm still waiting for a retro Flint. That's what I want. Flint was always my favorite character. And I've got to be honest, I mean, the original Flint's a good-looking figure. I just kind of want him in his more traditional look.
I really upgraded mine. I used parts from Outback, the Tiger Force Outback, used his legs, used the arms from Outback Tiger Force Recondo.
Yeah.
So he's got pinless arms and legs, and I gave him the gear from who did I give him gear from? I changed out that vest, which takes all articulation off the figure. Oh, I used the gear from Stalker.
Yeah. I just got a couple extra Stalker figures because they were
great
for like $9.
Yeah.
So I haven't done anything with them yet, but
Stalkers are excellent for upgrading other figures.
the new G.I. Joe stuff's cool, man. I'm just glad they're finally doing like classic looks, but the
best line out there.
They're easy to customize too.
Yeah, they are the easiest line to kit bash and customize.
Mm-hmm. So
they made everything interchangeable. Just about it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they made it 100% interchangeable. I mean, to the point. I mean, I've got Mr. T on my Joe team.
I got one too.
So I got Tyler Rake, I got Big Lob, I got upgraded Storm Shadow, I got like a handful of others back there. I got my zombie, my zombie Storm Shadow. Like, they're cool, man. They're cool. They're fun to play around with. But what's up, audience? What's going on, ladies and gentlemen out there in YouTube land? How you guys doing? Well, I hope. Yeah, doing good.
I'm going to rinse this thing off right quick.
Are you playing with that
graphite powder?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I still have
gloves.
I need to play around with it. I want to play around with it on one of my Silver Surfers, but I just haven't done it yet.
It gets everywhere.
Dude, do you ever use graphite powder on any of your stuff?
No, I don't, but because everything I'm doing is like paint based, and I can do everything with dry brushing that you're going to do with graphite powder, and I understand why you would use it at the scale you're at, but just for me, dry brushing with a silver metallic or something close to it is all I need to do.
I haven't played around with it yet. I've seen what Jared's done with it, which looks amazing, because he can get like a mirror shine on a Silver Surfer figure, you know, and it looks awesome. But I've got some. I just haven't messed around with it yet to like really see what
it makes it look like metal. Yeah. Like I just polished these boots up.
Yeah, which look awesome.
Wow. Okay. That's cool. That's way cool.
You went from like just a bright silver paint to that. Same with like these helmets too.
Yeah, see, I guess the difference I would have is like I would never want anything to look like that. It's all grungy and beat up. But my gosh, dude, that's really cool. I might want to see your process on that. Can you do it on the sword?
You have to paint a silver base first.
Okay.
I saw somebody doing. There was a video that popped up online in my feed, and it was a dude from the Philippines or something, and he was going through and trying the graphite powder on different background paints, and he did like red and blue and green and black and white, and they all come out different, like depending on the background paint that you use.
Now I'm intrigued because that's way different than I thought.
They have like a different shade. They have a different silvery kind of, metallic look to them, depending on what paint you put the graphite powder on over.
Here's the KO Spider-Man 2099 that I cleared when I put the graphite powder over top of it. You get this blue chrome.
Oh, that's cool.
But the key is the clear. If you want a super shiny like finish, you clear coat it first. And the graphite adheres to the clear coat. You can put it over stuff without the clear coat. It just won't be as shiny. It'll make it shinier, but it's also removable if you don't put the clear coat on too. You can just basically wash it in like a super clean or something like that, or some kind of solvent. Wash off.
Yeah.
But once you clear it, you're making it permanent.
Duke, you sound sleepy. Have you not gotten enough sleep today?
No, I'm just intrigued. I'm watching a guy do graphite powder on a space marine. So no, I'm not tired at all. Actually,
All right.
But definitely use a respirator when you're using this stuff because it's super fine. You can
Yeah,
breathe
yeah,
it
yeah.
in really easy.
That's cool though. I'm into that. But I don't know. I like my stuff's all gimmicky. Like I'm just doing it with paints now, and I just got into speed paints, which are drastically different than like regular paints, I guess. So I don't know. It's a big changeover, but I'm cool with it.
Didn't you say you used to do those like speed painting contests for Warhammer?
I did a painting contest that was based upon speed, but I like there is a new line of paints from Army Painter called Speed Paints, and they are like a super water based paint that is it is as if you are only painting by the numbers. That is the best way to describe the way I'm painting these miniatures. Is that I just paint like a tunic, and it comes out like I'll paint a tunic green, and it comes out with depth and shade in it. I don't know how they did it, but it's like water based, and so it goes into like the nooks and crannies of a tunic, and it makes the creases in the tunic look as though I've done a shade and a wash on the actual painting or on the actual tunic itself. Instead of just painting like a base paint green, this fills in the crevices by itself. It's like magic, and I don't know how it works exactly, other than it's just water based. And
It's got to be some kind of paint that, like, the thicker it is, the darker it is.
yes,
So if you put a coat over everything, then the areas with crevices and the surface is even,
yeah,
the areas with crevices are going to be darker.
yeah,
So
So
it's got to
yeah.
be a paint that, like, the thicker it is, the darker it gets.
yeah. And so I put like
That would make sense.
a light coat of like green or a blue on, and I'll show you. I'm gonna go jump in the garage. I'll jump on my phone and get my setup so I can like I'll do some showing. But like that stuff to me is game changing because I'm painting a bunch of orcs that are usually pretty time consuming, and I can churn them out pretty fast now with some different colors. And so like what he's doing right now, there's like speed paint for flesh, and it just goes in and it automatically will do like washes and stuff.
That's cool, man.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah, I'll go jump over there and I'll see you right there.
All right. Well, anyway, we're here this weekend having some fun, talking some geek stuff. Oh, damn, I got to wait for Duke because I wanted to talk to him about Fallout because I don't know if he's seen it yet. I know he was excited about it. Oh, let me get this one out of the way real quick because this will be easy. I watched the new Rebel Moon Part 2.
Mm-hmm.
It's awful.
Oh,
And
so just
I liked the first one. Like, I liked the first one. The second one's fucking awful. Like, the first hour is the most boring shit I have seen in a long time.
And why are the bad guys bothering doing a ground assault when they have a ship that can?
I don't know.
When they can just bombard the planet from orbit.
Yeah, I have no clue. It is an hour of boring where nothing happens, and then like an hour of a whole bunch of shit that doesn't make sense.
We have a ship that can turn the surface to glass. Let's send troops down and fight them.
Yeah, yeah. No, I don't know what happened, and I know not everybody liked the first one. That's cool. I actually liked the first one because it was very Seven Samurai, Magnificent Seven type of whatever. I dug the first one. This second one's just no. And I don't even know if that's the end of it. Was that supposed to be all of them, just those two? Like I don't even know.
I gave up on the first after I watched the first one. It's like I'm out, and that was shit.
Yeah, I don't know if there's supposed to be more after this. I don't know. But
my brother tried to watch it before I even mentioned it, and he couldn't even watch it, and he couldn't watch it either. So
yeah, so I don't know if this is supposed to keep going on, but holy hell, if that's supposed to be like the end of this thing, like what an awful way to end it. Like if you like me, you actually did like the first one. Like what a fucking disappointment. Like that's worse than if I didn't like the first one, I wouldn't be disappointed that the second one wasn't good. You know, wouldn't even care because I didn't like the first one. But I actually liked the first one, and this one was just fucking bad and didn't make any damn sense on any level and was fucking boring and just no, very disappointing. Very disappointing.
Oh, they already jumped the shark when they let the bad guy survive the first movie. There's no way he could have survived those wounds.
Oh well, they just explain it. It's future technology. It's like Darth Vader surviving getting burned. You know what I mean? Like there's no way a human
That
being
dude got bored,
chopped up,
dropped from a mountainside.
Yeah, well, they basically are just like it essentially takes place in a time when like it doesn't matter as long as his brain's still intact, they can heal the body. It's sci-fi science.
Turn the brain to mush though.
Yeah, it's sci-fi science. That didn't bother me just because every fucking sci-fi thing I've ever seen, like Star Trek, did that every week. Crusher would save fucking somebody from something that would have killed any normal human being. That didn't bug me, but everything else did.
That 55-gallon drum was completely unsecure on the Enterprise D. Almost took out Worf.
Yeah.
To be a super advanced society with spacecraft, they don't know how to secure goods whatsoever.
Mm-hmm. Never heard of straps or seat belts or anything. People are always getting fucked up and getting thrown across a ship.
I love that one of the things like Seth MacFarlane did on like the Orville. They even made a joke about it, like when they were in the shuttle, when the bad guy was standing up. It was like, we got something he doesn't. Seat belts.
Yeah.
Stop the ship all of a sudden.
Yeah. But yeah, no, it's not good.
In a combat situation, why would you not have some kind of restraint system?
I don't know. It doesn't make sense.
All right, what's up?
Okay, what do we have here?
All right, so like these are some examples. Like this is just one coat of this. And look at that green tunic. Like look how well
Oh dude, yeah,
defined.
it looks shaded and
Yeah, and that's one go through, and that's a model that looked like, I mean, this is this is what I'm working with, like a base painted model. Like this is one coat of a black, and look at like it looks gray, but black is supposed to look gray in this, and it's shaded. You know what I mean? But this is one run of green right here, and this is what we get. When normally I'm doing like all kinds of craziness to get, different looks and stuff. And my son, he did this today. This is his first one he's ever done. He did this super cool spider. Look at that. Look how good the shade looks on this black spider with the eyes. He did this. He's 6 years old. I was super proud of him today.
Dude, that looks awesome.
That's great.
Yeah, and he did like the teeth and everything. I was like, I was pretty impressed. So we went to there's a local shop near us, and it's called Reaper Bones, and it's a bunch of D&D miniatures, and they're not nearly as expensive as the Warhammer, but they're super cool. They're really highly detailed. And he whipped out that thing today, and I was like, man, good job. So it was fun. It was fun to do that with him.
Oh, that's cool, man. Yeah, that paint's awesome. That's one coat, dude. That looks awesome.
Yeah. I'm going to do some more and see how it goes tonight. And
I wonder how it would work on like a larger scale,
Well, you would have to base it. I think it's like everything I read is that you have to base it with like a primer. And I've been using this stuff right here. This Citadel primer. White Scar. It's a little rattle can. And this is what I'm going to do. And like, I've got hundreds of these used orcs. All this behind it, and all this is just orcs that are, I would say, various states, not super great. and like some of them are completely unpainted that I'm gonna paint, and then some of them are just painted bad. And so I think I'm just gonna base them all in the white, like this. Like what? I don't know what somebody was thinking about with this bad. Like, that was like some kind of like Grimace from McDonald's.
What are those miniatures made out of? Are they plastic or metal?
These are all plastic,
Okay.
which is way better than the Lord. Like these are Lord of the Rings ones right here. Like here's a Gimli. This is a metal pewter kind of. This is Gimli and Aragon, and these are Lord of the Rings ones that I'm waiting to paint as I regroup my skills. So
You know what you need to do?
we'll see.
You know what you need to do? You need to make like a fucking, I don't know how you do it. There's probably 100 different ways you could do it. But you need to make yourself like a fucking Minas Tirith out of I don't know, Lego or foam or something.
Yeah.
And have a whole fucking setup.
Oh yeah, there's guys with like I found a guy who makes a scale Helm's Deep in Europe. He 3D prints it and it's like $1,000. But it's a scale to these miniatures and it's amazing. But it was like $1,200 for shipping and the whole $1,200 for the whole thing.
Does he sell just the file?
They do, but then I gotta find somebody to print it. And that would probably be easier. But it was intense. And I was really close to pulling the trigger because I was like, dude, that's a Helm's Deep. That's like the epic, and it had everything perfect. So someday we'll get there.
You'd have that set up in the corner of the basement next to all your son's stuff.
I know, that's kind of what I was thinking. I'm like, dude,
you have a little corner of the basement with the Minas Tirith battlefield.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm hoping. Like I was impressed. I was happy.
That'd be cool. All right. So I want to talk about I think the best thing that I've seen on television in a long time.
Okay,
Duke,
I haven't finished it. I'm on
son of a
episode
bitch.
2. I know, but go ahead. Just like give me the basics. Like I'm happy with it, dude. I love it. Are you talking about Fallout? I know you are.
Yes. Well, how
Yes,
far have you
dude.
gotten in it?
Episode 2.
You motherfucker!
I don't want to hardly watch TV anymore, and I finished it.
I did all binge. Me and my wife binge watched it by last Sunday, man. We burned through it over the weekend. Yeah. I mean, it's 8-hour-long episodes, so it's a solid 8-hour watch. And I can just say, I was not bored or felt like I was watching filler for a single second of 8 hours worth of television.
Yep.
I was thoroughly entertained. It is one of the best seasons of a television show I have seen in a very long time. It like instantly shot up to my top current TV shows, which right now for me is House of the Dragon, Yellowstone, and For All Mankind. Those are my 3 favorite TV shows. This is a solid number 4. It's great. And I know we were talking about it a little bit on Wednesday because we were talking about people were asking what I thought of it, and some people were like, "Oh, the timeline doesn't match with the games or whatever." Blah blah blah. I actually, and then I went and watched a little 15-minute like mini doc on like the making of the TV show, and a couple of the guys who are showrunners on the show are people that created, the game at Bethesda. And they were like, no, man. They're like, you got to pay real close attention. We made this show to 100% fit in with the game. This is, there are no changes. We didn't tweak anything. We haven't, gone back and redone anything from the game. This takes place 15 years after Fallout New Vegas. This is, was it 2286 is when this one takes place, and New Vegas was. Wait, no, sorry. This is 2296, and New Vegas was 2281. So this takes place 15 years after New Vegas. And he's like, we got the timeline down. He's like, there's a lot of things that you have to really pay attention to, because you're gonna be like, wait, I don't remember this from the game or that from the game. It's like, well, no, it's not that it happened in the game. Like, because there was like at one point, and I don't want to spoil anything for Duke, but you find out that was it Shady Sands? Is that the name of the place in the NCR?
Yeah.
Well, it gets nuked. Like, it gets nuked and wiped out. And people were like, oh, that couldn't have happened because in the game Fallout New Vegas, like, Shady Sands is still around. Well, it literally happens right after Fallout New Vegas is when it happens. Yep. That place just gets fucked and nuked. And they like went through, and I was like, okay, cool. And now I keep in mind, I know I very, very, very little about the game, because I've got like 4 hours of playtime into Fallout 3, and I think I got like 2 or 3 hours of playtime into Fallout 76, which, by the way, Fallout 76 was awful. It was fucking awful. I've heard they've done a bunch of patches and updates on it. I played it like within the first couple weeks it was out several years ago, whenever that game came out. And I've heard they made the game better. I don't know, because I played it for 2 or 3 hours, and it was so bad and so boring, and I've never gone back and tried to play that game again.
Well, the problem is they gave us what we never wanted. I never wanted a Fallout game now, yes, I may have wanted to play with you. Mm-hmm. But we never wanted to play a style of like Call of Duty and Fallout. No, I wanted to play with you and I to like run around the map together. That's what we wanted to do, and them trying to give us some like Fallout, Call of Duty while I run around by myself with no other humans. That was never what it was about. It was always about this like one-off adventures where you went on and played by yourself. That's really what it was excelled in. So when you try to be something you're not, you fail.
Well, it was this weird kind of partially open world, nothing but side quest thing, but the side quests were not fun or interesting at all. And there's like no direction. And again, I'm just going off of the handful of hours I played, but like, it was just, I don't know, man. It wasn't good. It wasn't good. But anyway, that's beside the point. The show is fantastic. I loved everything about the show. All the characters were done well. Best character on the show is obviously the Ghoul. He's great. You find out he essentially is Fallout Boy, not the band, or what do they call him in the game? Pip Boy?
Yep, Pip Boy.
Pip Boy. He basically is Pip Boy. The Ghoul is, because he's the face of Vault Tech. He's the best character in the show. Very entertaining. I love Walton Goggins. He's a great actor. I've liked him pretty much in everything I've ever seen him in. And he does a great job as the Ghoul. The chick, I think, did exactly what she needed to do. I don't know. I mean, I've seen that chick in stuff before, but like, I don't really like know whether I couldn't sit here and tell you whether or not she's a good actress or anything. As far as in her capacity as the main character on this show, she did a great job, because it very much reminded me of the several hours I spent playing Fallout 3, which was, essentially kind of your character is you for all intents and purposes, and it's just you're playing the game and getting introduced to the world, and that's what she is. Mm-hmm. She's like this character who goes through some shit, fresh out the vault, and is discovering the world. Yep. And you're kind of discovering this world of Fallout with her as she's trying to do the thing that she's trying to do, which, I mean, if you've watched the first couple episodes, she's trying to save her father. you know, like that. So it worked really well. I don't know if she was good in this.
All American girl wanting to have a family.
Yeah, people are giving her shit though. They're like, "Oh, all American, pure American trad wife just wants to have a family and live American values." So a lot of people on the left are getting pissed off at her character for it because she maintains like through the whole series, like she's just kind of this all American girl who just wanted to get married and live by American values and all this stuff. So I guess some people who don't believe in that are getting a little upset about the show. I don't really give a shit. Y'all can shut the fuck up because it was a good show. But yeah, she does good. The dude who played Maximus was fine. He's okay. He's not a bad actor. I've never seen that dude before, so I don't know.
What?
They really got the Brotherhood of Steel down for the first 2 episodes that I saw. That's like that. They see the thing I so much appreciate as being a huge fan of the games is like how they just got the feel down, the feel and the talk and the lingo and everything. They encompassed everything about Fallout was just on screen, and even the minute details of like the sounds of everything and the flashes from cameras, everything was like little nuances to the games. And I'm not even that like strong big of a fan on everything. I'm just telling you, I'm as from a guy who's I would say like a pretty good fan of it. I picked out a bunch of stuff on just the first 2 episodes, and I absolutely loved it just because of that stuff. So
I feel like this show is what Halo should have been. The Halo show.
Yeah.
But of course that didn't happen. So we won't discuss that. But oh, by the way, Sith for Life dropped in a member super chat, said if Duke only knew a couple of people with 3D printers. Yeah, no, it's a shame. Yeah, it's a real shame. There, Duke, don't know anybody. But
yeah, that's a real shame.
It's a darn shame. Nah, man, it's a damn good show, dude. I loved it. Like I was, I going into it with some knowledge of Fallout. My wife going into it with no idea of what it is. Like she doesn't know what the hell Fallout is. Like, even though I did have a couple of the games, like she has no clue. She loved it. Dude, it was great, dude. I was just blown away. By the end of it, it was like a perfect season of television. Thoroughly entertaining. At no point did the story drag and make me feel like they were doing something to pad out 8 episodes of a show. I felt like I was just getting every single episode was just bang on solid all the way through from beginning to end. It was just good entertainment all the way through, which almost never happens anymore, dude.
Nope.
Like even some of the best shows out there, you feel like you get those episodes or big chunks of certain episodes where you're just like, yeah, they're just trying to get to their 8 to 10 episodes or whatever it is,
Yeah.
And I never felt like that watching this show, which is awesome because that's what a show should be like. Although, whatever.
Did you notice in his first role since I've seen him, Bubba Gump was in it.
Yes.
Bubba Gump played. I'm like, yo, that's Bubba Gump. I'm like, oh, sweet, I'm gonna see him in this, and he gets killed.
He is like killed like right away.
Yeah.
He's just gone. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mentioned it Wednesday as like a missed opportunity to get Brandon Fraser to like play like a cameo or something other, and this play like one of the Outlanders or something other when she comes out of the crypt.
Yeah. Just have him do the role for Blast from the Past.
Yep.
He just needs to come up and be like, would you like to buy some baseball cards? Yeah, something.
Do you know who was a big fan of the game and I'm surprised didn't have something in this was the guy from Friends, Chandler? Because he did voices in New Vegas.
He's
Well, I
yeah,
know, but he would have been alive when they filmed this.
Oh, I guess so, yeah. Because he did just die a few months ago. Yeah. Well, I also don't think like he was all fucked up, dude. Have you seen him in interviews in the last few years? He had issues, like he couldn't talk right. I don't know if he'd had strokes or something or what, but yeah. Oh, there's even a little nod to dog meat in there, which was great. They did that. But there was a bunch of stuff that even somebody who doesn't know a whole lot about the games, I was able to pick up on little things.
I know nothing about the games, and I enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, see, that's how it should be. That's exactly how it should be.
Yep.
It should be somebody who doesn't know it can enjoy it, and somebody who lives and breathes Fallout can love it too.
Yeah. And I think they pulled it off, man. I haven't really, like I said, I don't know anybody who didn't enjoy it. I hear some like online ramblings of people bitching about trad wife stuff or whatever, you know what I mean? But like for the most part, everybody I know either that did watch or did play the game or didn't play the game, everybody seems to like this show. So I'd say that's pretty successful right there. That's a good sign.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So it was a great show, man. I love it. Highly recommend if you have not checked it out yet. You definitely go check it out because it's awesome. Great fucking show. Can't wait for season 2. I heard it already got renewed for season 2 and 3.
I knew about 2, but I hope it is 2 and 3.
I saw an article yesterday saying Amazon approved season 2 and 3. So I was like, all right.
Hey, it's an Amazon show. They actually did well.
Yeah. Which is only, I mean, Amazon's got like a 50-50
of course,
hit ratio there.
Invincible was good too.
Yeah. Like I said, I'd say Amazon does pretty good. About 50% of the time, they do pretty good.
But I did see a rumor where Games Workshop pissed everybody off about Warhammer, about retconning the Casodes to have female warriors.
I heard something about this, but I don't know anything about Warhammer, so I don't really know what's the controversy.
They retconned, added females to the lore of the Casodes that never had female warriors, and they were wanting to do it in the show. What the rumor is right now is Amazon want to do their thing and change stuff up, and Henry Cavill was talking about walking from the show when they keep changing stuff. He said, no, we're going to stick to the lore. Then what the rumor is, Amazon went to Games Workshop and made them retcon the lore. Let's see. So
fucking stupid.
That's not how that works. You can't. And pissed off a bunch of Warhammer fans.
Just can't leave it alone. Can't leave it alone. Got to fuck something up. And what do they think is going to happen if they put this show out now after everything that's going on and Henry Cavill walks away?
Yeah. And it's not
what do they think is going to happen?
There actually are groups in Warhammer that have female warriors, but they for some reason want to be Custodes, which has not been the case.
Yeah, there's whole groups and whole armies of just chicks in gothic armor that are like super strong.
But they didn't want to use any of those. They want to make sure it's Custodes.
Yeah, I don't know what the reason is behind that. And I will tell you that Warhammer fans are some of the most abused fans. But because of the models and because of the lore and the history and because they're damn good models and it's good lore, Warhammer fans stick around. Their prices increase every year. They do new brand. They have a horrible market. They have like a horrible plan for everything, but just because it's such good stuff, people put up with it, and they're still the king of the miniature game, and they run big dogs over everybody, and nobody even comes close to like their sales, and fans, we just put up with it. And I mean, like I'm hit or miss. Like I get people's concern, but like doing a brand new game edition every 3-year cycle and making everything you own like go out, like all the books you buy, like all that goes out, and then your armies are like nuked, so they're not as good, or they got to change stuff and like all kinds of craziness. So
Yeah.
that this is right in line, in my opinion.
It sounds like this just sounds like they do what Hasbro did with the Transformers movie, which is like, oh, you know what? Fuck all the old characters. Make them buy new ones. Let's kill them all.
Yeah.
Yep. 86 movie. Absolutely. They killed basically 90% off the G1 cast. The season 1, 2 cast.
I don't know. We'll see. I mean, that show's going to be a ways off, but I do know that if Henry Cavill walks away from it, that show is going to fail.
Yep. That's only that's the main draw for the show for normal people.
Yeah. Like that's what is getting people excited for that show is Henry Cavill is doing it.
Because he has a passion for the material.
You take that dude off and people are going to be like, man, fuck this shit.
Yep. And not only did he just leave because not just taking him off of it, he's leaving because you're screwing too much stuff up.
Yeah. I don't know. Same thing that's fucking happening to what is it? Witcher season, whatever the fuck they're on. Yeah. I don't know. I haven't gotten through. I didn't even get through season 2 of Witcher.
Oh, they try to burn him too with him leaving The Witcher, saying he's too hard to work with because he wanted you to follow the freaking books and stories, and you thought that was being difficult.
Wow. I don't know, man.
It's like,
well, the bullshit sounds like to me. God damn it.
Yep.
Sounds like a bunch of bullshit.
Bunch of whiny. Hollywood like writers in quotes.
Wow.
Wanting to change things up just for change, like put their stamp on it.
Which, this gets into this, and I know I've said this 5 billion times, but it just doesn't make sense. I mean, ultimately, these people are in it for money, and you keep fucking shit up, whether it's Marvel or DC or Star Wars or whatever. Pick whatever franchise that they're choosing to screw up this week with some bullshit.
It makes no sense when you pay for a license, a property, buy it, or flat out, and don't use anything from it.
It doesn't make any sense. What are you doing? I mean, we know these companies are losing money on this shit. Like, look at look at Disney. Look how much money they lost last year. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, what are you doing? Do they now just only care about DEI and not money? Do these companies not care about money anymore?
Well, they do. They don't until the shareholders give them a call and say, "What are you doing? What are you doing?"
Then they pretend like they do, and they still don't fix it.
Yeah, but that's only going to last for so long because in the end, my theory is that's only going to last so long because eventually they're going to say, whoa, knock off all this wild shit. Where's our money?
They tried that with Disney. Well, if the shareholders are pissed off, try to dethrone Iger, and it didn't work.
I give more time of that. Give more time of that.
Then they turn around right after that whole deal. We're doing female Silver Surfer. Why?
Yeah.
Now I think because of all the outrage with the female Silver Surfer. Oh, we're going to have 2 Silver Surfers, male and female. Why are you doing Earth X, an alternate reality like timeline, like from a one-shot story?
It doesn't make any sense. Like, we talked about this a while back, which is like, okay, if the idea is that going into Secret Wars you're going to wipe out everything, and you just for whatever reason need to get a Fantastic Four movie under your belt before you're going to get to Secret Wars, then to an extent it makes sense to do it.
But it don't make sense like with Fox for doing stuff like that. They had to do that to keep the license. They
Yeah,
actually
well, that's
own
what
it
I'm
now.
saying. This is what I'm saying. Like, it makes sense. Like, if you feel like you need to do a movie, why you would be like, okay, well, let's do a movie in a universe that that doesn't matter. I get that, but then to get to what you're saying, you don't need to do a movie yet. Like
Mhm.
you now own the property again, right? You don't you're Disney. You don't need to fucking force a movie out to keep the license. You own the license now, right? So you don't need to do this. So I don't understand why. And maybe it'll become apparent in the movie why they're doing what they're doing. So I'll give them that. You know, I don't know what they're planning. I don't know what this movie is exactly about, other than we know it takes place in another universe where the Fantastic Four have always existed, which obviously isn't the MCU, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's fine. They're doing something here. How that's going to work into Secret Wars and everything else, I don't know. But I don't get the point of, like, if you're going to introduce, like, and we talked about this years ago, Duke, where we were like, you know, the way that you do this, the way you pull this off, when we knew they were going into Secret Wars, and this was about 3 or 4 years ago when we first started talking about this, the best way to do this that I think fans would be really, really happy about is, as you build to Secret Wars, knowing Kang's going to be involved and all this other stuff, right? The best way to do it, and it's such a simple thing, I don't know why they didn't do it, is you have Secret Wars happen, you have this Kang dynasty thing happen, all this crap, right? And you reveal that, oh, at some point Kang went back in time and started erasing heroes that could stop him, like the Fantastic Four, like the X-Men. He went back in time and stopped mutants from being a part of the breeding pool, right? Like, he went back and did these things. And then when they defeat him, it undoes that and it resets the timeline. And that's a quick, easy way you can introduce X-Men and Fantastic Four without having to do new origin stories or explain that, oh, they just now are showing up or any of that shit. You can undo what Kang has done, and then boom, all of a sudden we've got Fantastic Four in this universe. We've got X-Men in this universe, right? Mm-hmm. It would be a simple, easy way to do that. Obviously, that's not what they're doing. But it would have been so much better. And then as soon as, you know, the Kang Dynasty, Secret Wars, whatever they're doing with these movies is done, we just get a Fantastic Four movie. We just get X-Men movies, you know? And you don't have to explain anything. You don't have to do any alternate universe fucking takes on characters. You know what I mean? You don't have to overcomplicate the MCU. You just make that one simple change. You put in a fucking, you know, one fucking conversation piece of dialogue in some movie that, hey, at some point Kang went back and into the timeline and started erasing people that challenged him.
Somehow Palpatine survived.
Yeah, exactly. Somehow. But I don't know. But, you know, and what we're going to get is fucking Earth X and female Silver Surfer that nobody fucking wants. A storyline like almost nobody fucking read. But we're doing this for some reason. Who the fuck?
Frustrating.
It is, because it seems like they just want, like with everything, they just want to shit on the fans who are the fucking reason why these franchises are as big as they are.
Oh yeah. Disney is so arrogant. They think they can take any property, Marvel property, make a movie about it, and it's going to succeed because of them. It's not that. It's because the properties that have succeeded have been around for 80 years, 60, 80 years, depends which one it is, and have a loyal fan base. Yeah. And are like household names.
Yep.
The Eternals didn't do well? I'm shocked.
Yeah.
Which only time they did a movie that did a lot of money that a lot of people don't know about, it's because they lied to everybody, was the first Captain Marvel movie. They flat out lied to everybody after Infinity War, you got to watch Captain Marvel to know what's going to happen on Endgame. That is the only reason that movie made $1 billion. They flat out lied to everybody. Plus, you had the press saying kept trashing the competing movie at the same time. Alita Battle Angel,
which was a way better movie.
Yes, the best live action adaptation to an manga anime ever.
Yep, that was a fucking great movie. I know there's still people clinging on to the fact, oh, we're gonna get another one. We're gonna get another one. I wish we would, but I don't think it's ever gonna happen. Yeah. Unfortunately. It should fucking happen, but I don't think it is. So, I don't know, man. We'll see. I'd love more Alita Battle Angel.
Yeah.
Because that was a fantastic movie.
And how in the hell they've tried to make it out to be some kind of right-wing movie?
Yeah, I know. They were like, oh, this right-wing conservative movie. I'm like, did we watch the same movie? What the fuck are you talking about? How was that movie political at all?
The main character is a Latina.
There wasn't even like an allegory for modern politics in that movie.
They even try to say like, oh, they whitewashed it. Well, no, they didn't. The original manga took place in North America. What used to be North America.
Yeah, that's fucking weird.
I'll be right back. I gotta prime something real quick. I'll be right back.
Did he say he's gonna be right back? He has to fuck something real quick?
Yes.
I think that's what he said. I'm pretty sure that's what he said, people. Just want to reiterate. That's what Duke said. Yeah, I don't know, man. The state of modern movies in Hollywood, like, it's such a double-edged sword because on one hand, in the last 15 years, we've gotten more cool genre stuff than I've ever gotten in the entire rest of my life combined. We really have. And credit needs to be given where it's due, which is because of people like Kevin Feige, and whether you like him or not, Zack Snyder, and a lot of these people, we've gotten more geek culture genre stuff.
And he's out now with Hollywood, but Josh Whedon.
Yeah.
Even the first Avengers movie was fantastic.
Yeah. But we've gotten more geek culture stuff in the last 15 years than the entire rest of my life combined. And credit where credit's due to those people that were able to do that and make that a thing. And then, sure as shit, as soon as it was a thing, the fucking woke DEI left wing swooped in to fucking push identity politics into everything.
Modern comics
and
is so
fuck up everything that we, okay, as fans, made successful. Like, the people that made the things made it successful, and the other side of that coin is the fans made it successful. You know, had the fans not flocked to Iron Man, the MCU would not be a thing.
Well,
you know,
yeah. Blade set everything off too.
I mean, but yeah, as soon as something gets popular, it's popular. Yeah, let's go and fucking swoop it up and fuck it up.
As soon as Disney bought Marvel, they start doing that whole destroying Marvel comics.
Yep.
Well, and there's a part of it. You got to give it a rest. Sometimes I just want to see a hero do the right thing.
The people currently writing that work for Marvel Comics and DC Comics don't understand what heroes are. They don't understand why people would be selfless to risk themselves to save people.
Yeah.
They think they write them as narcissistic assholes.
Yeah.
They think they're doing this stuff just to be popular. Like, no, don't get the whole point. A lot of heroes are hated because they're considered vigilantes. You got some
It
people
really
that love them, some people hate them
Yeah.
in their universe.
It just I don't know. It seems to be nonsensical. It seems to just boggle my mind that you take these things that have become so popular for being what they were, and then just try to, irrevocably change them and make them something they're not, and piss off the fan base that supported this thing with their dollars becoming as successful as it was.
The New 52 reboot back in 2012 at DC, they basically gave a middle finger to all the fans post-Crisis on. From the 80s on, we're resetting the entire DC universe, not just like a regular reset, like a softcore reset when they do every so often, just to clean up continuity. No, we're wiping everything out. And it wasn't even clear they didn't even do that right, because Batman apparently still has 4 Robins, and but
because I remember when the New 52 stuff came out, that it was like they were saying, okay, so yeah, we're wiping everything out except for Batman and Green Lantern. Their continuity is going to remain unchanged, and it's like, well, how can their continuity remain unchanged?
But
They're literally changing everything else.
And they made the Justice Society on another Earth.
Yeah,
and made Alan Scott gay for some reason, so they can have the headlines: Green Lantern's now gay.
Yeah,
which should piss off gay people because it's trivializing who they are. It's not to mention too, by doing that, they wiped out his son, who was one of the first prominently gay characters, who was one of the first gay comic characters to get married in DC Comics.
Yeah.
And people liked Obsidian.
Yes. In their quest to promote woke identity politic ideology, they get rid of actual inclusive characters.
Yep. The ones who broke ground before, just so they can go say, "Oh, there's a gay Green Lantern now." Alan Scott, he's always been gay.
Right,
now they even made the main universe Alan Scott gay.
Stephen Martin says, the more you churn out Disney, the more fans will slip through your fingers. Modified Leia quote.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And let's see. We got this one here. Sit for life. Thank you, guys. Remember when villains could be villains? Now everybody has to be tragic backstory anti-hero.
Yep.
Yes. And the reason that worked when it did was because it wasn't typical. So when you did have a sympathetic villain, like Magneto, for instance, Magneto, was not almost every other villain in the Marvel universe because of the fact that because he came out of the Holocaust, you understood him. That's why he became one of the most popular villains, because you understood that he wasn't just some crazy megalomaniacal insane person. Like, he had witnessed the very worst of humanity.
Mm-hmm.
That shaped him into becoming who he was, and that's why people connected with him as a character more than some other villains.
Yep.
If you just do that to every villain, it just takes it all away. Like, if every villain is basically just a good guy who got abused or whatever, you know what I mean? Like, then there are no more villains.
But then there was this whole backstory. There was this whole feeling of they were rounding up the mutants. Well, they rounded up the Jews. Like, it was this really cool throwback to be like, he wasn't gonna let it happen again.
Yeah.
And that was cool, and that was sympathetic, and there was you understood even though you didn't maybe agree with what he did. Like, oh man, that's such a deep, really good way of writing things. And
but then you just discount Magneto when you just make every villain's backstory some fucking sympathetic fucking thing, because then there are no villains. There is no true evil in the world.
Right.
Everybody's got a fucking reason. that you're supposed to sympathize with.
Well, it's like the Falcon and Winter Soldier. They try to make the terrorists sympathetic, which backfired horribly on them because those were horrible people.
Yeah.
They were, especially the main red-headed girl. She was killing innocent people because she didn't want to give up her free stuff, and we're supposed to feel sympathetic to her.
Yeah.
She wrongly got to take possession of somebody who died.
Yeah.
And when those people came back to life, I got to give up my free stuff.
I had a nice house and I got to take their car. Yeah.
But now we got to give it up because the rightful owners came back.
Yeah.
Hey, it's like squatters' rights. What's going on right now?
Yeah, no shit. But I don't know. You know, I mean, it is something that I feel like eventually has to fix itself, because at some point these companies will no longer be sustainable if they keep doing this, because it is evident that these things that they are doing to characters and franchises are not popular, are losing money. So a part of me thinks, you know, much like you're saying, Duke, that like at a certain point it has to stop, because at a certain point they're going to lose so much money that they simply cannot sustain that business model.
Well, Disney lost almost $1 billion on movies last year.
Yep.
For doing stuff that nobody wanted to happen in the movies.
Yep. And now we're still getting shit coming out. You know, it's just ridiculous. And I mean, and my God, you know,
I think the announcement. I think the announcement of the second Silver Surfer going to be in the movie, the male Silver Surfer, is a reaction because they got so much negative feedback from the female surfer.
Yeah. I heard one person.
So they have to introduce a second one to keep from saving face. It's like, oh, we can't just not use the female one now. Then we get the people who are the DEI people who are happy about that stuff. They will turn on us if we drop her and just put the regular surfer in. So now we got to have two.
So what I heard from there was one article that came out, and I don't remember where it was. If it was Entertainment Weekly or I can't remember. It was one of the big companies or whatever. There was one article that came out about a week or two after that whole Silver Surfer thing became a big controversy. And it was one guy who came out and said, and I think this was kind of the headline, which was modern studios' biggest problem is they don't put anything into context when announcing cast. And he went on and he said, the biggest problem with all this isn't that they're bringing in a female Silver Surfer. The biggest problem is that Disney and Marvel don't understand how to do cast announcements. And what he went on to explain, and I don't know if this is true. This is what this guy was saying. But this is what this dude says. He says, the thing that everybody didn't know, because Marvel and Disney don't say this, is that there was always going to be two Silver Surfers in the movie. But when they hired that chick, that whatever the fuck alien looking chick that I can't remember her name, they had cast her for that role and immediately announced that she was going to be whatever character she's going to be before they had cast the male Silver Surfer role. And because, you know, DEI, right? We got to announce the chick first.
Yeah.
And the fact is, the story has always included both Silver Surfers, both versions, both of those characters always included Norrin Radd and what's her face? I can't remember her name. But they cast her first and went ahead and made the announcement that she was going to be fucking Silver Surfer or whatever the fuck she was going to be. And did not understand how that was going to affect things. They just saw, oh, well, if we announce the chick first, that'll look good for our DEI. not realizing it was just going to piss every fucking fan off because it makes it seem like that you're just fucking doing exactly what everybody thought. Now, I don't know if that's true. I don't know if there was always supposed to be both Silver Surfers in the movie or not.
I have a feeling it's more likely they changed the story because they realized people aren't going to go watch this movie if they keep doing what they're doing.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I mean, we'll see.
Our background music stopped.
Oh, it did, didn't it? It got so quiet.
Mm-hmm.
There we go.
There we go. Yeah. Food, yeah.
Gotta have our porn music. Duke, are you still awake?
Oh yeah, I'm painting. I got some.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
High elves. So
Okay.
That's what you need to do is have Duke in the garage painting. He stays awake for it.
Yeah, see, got this blue, this high elf from the Fellowship.
Oh, that's cool. Either that or the fumes get to him and knock him out even quicker.
Oh, for everybody, it's talking about fumes. Happy 420, everybody.
Oh, that's right. It is 420, isn't it? I don't partake myself, so
I don't either.
it's not my thing. But if you do, I mean, whatever. I don't care. Yeah. Another super chat here. Jack Barnes says the Iranians will be coming for our pickles now. 840-2. What the fuck?
I have no idea
I don't know what that means.
Oh,
I mean,
it wasn't a super chat, but Sith for Life said it in the chat earlier. It's like when he was talking about Lita. He's got a point. Unfortunately, if they do make a Lita now, it's going to be a Disney movie, Disney-controlled movie.
That's true, because it was Fox, wasn't it?
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, Lord. They'll fuck that one
Well,
up.
they probably won't call it a right-wing movie then.
Yeah.
Well, that's one of the things, too, they were doing, too. They were trying to make a Lita tank. That was during the times they were negotiating. They were actively trying to get Fox's shares, like the value down.
Yeah.
They were doing anything they can to help, like, all the reporters are attacking are more than likely on Disney's payroll.
Yeah.
Which has come out, too, like when going to find out, too, all these reporters and stuff that attack Gina Carano, those are Disney channels, payroll reporters.
You know what else I find weird in the most recent entertainment news cycles? Is all these shillish people who they have to be shills, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like all these people coming out of the woodwork, defending what has to be like one of the most boring movies I've seen in a really long time. Because there's no way you would actually like this movie. Like, you'd have to be either a shill or fundamentally retarded to like this movie. And of course, I'm talking about the movie Civil War.
Oh, yeah. People are actually liking that movie?
Yes, people are actually liking that movie. Yes, people are actually liking that movie. It's me. It's me. I'm him. I'm Ben Kenobi. I haven't heard that name in quite some time. So listen here, I do like that movie. It was awesome.
I was waiting for you to say something.
I didn't know.
Yes, I like that movie.
The entire concept of the movie sounds stupid, like heroic reporters on the fallen soldiers around.
Me and Duke already
argued
about
the
this
heroic. It is not about heroic reporters. We are merely seeing the events through the reporters' eyes, who are clearly inept and clearly unable to comprehend and deal with the situations properly. But I liked the movie 100%.
Oh, and Jack Barnes explained the super chat. 840 divided by 2 is 420.
Ah, okay. I got you. All right. Sorry, I missed that one. No, me and Duke disagree on this movie, which is unusual. Me and Duke don't disagree on many movies.
Yeah, this is like one of the first movies where there's Escape from New York and L.A., but we won't go there.
Well, okay. We both agree both movies are good. You just like one better than the other, and I like the other one better. That's all that's
true. That's all that
hey,
is.
If friends can't disagree about movies and not still be friends, are you really friends?
No, we talked about it. I just found the movie very boring. I was bored through the vast majority of the movie up until the very end, which is only like the last 15 minutes when they actually get to Washington D.C. And by that point, I didn't find any of the characters really that likable. At least none of the characters. There was a couple of good characters in the movie that one, they didn't really get that much to do. The old man was a great character, but he didn't get much to do. And then, spoiler alert, he dies. And then there was one of the other characters that was good, and he made it all the way to the end of the movie. But the main character, Kirsten Dunst's character, I found absolutely unlikable just across the board. I just did not like anything about her character, her dialogue, and I feel like she was written in a way that made that like it was on purpose. Like, you're not supposed to like her. Which is fine if that's what they want to do, but when that's your main character, like, you want to have some sympathy towards your main character, and I had no sympathy whatsoever towards her. And I felt like
I will say this.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Sorry.
No. Jump in, man.
I will say that in retrospect, I believe that my like and appreciation for the movie, although I will stand that I did enjoy the movie and it's a good movie, is probably heavily based on the fact that I went to a movie theater, had not been to the movie theater in years, and that I watched it with some friends. Like, that probably positively influenced me. And the fact that, like, we may have laughed when, like, he asked, like, what kind of Americans are you? And, like, that dude definitely answered wrong and got shot in the chest. Like, that's inappropriate to laugh at, but we, just because it was, a thing, we laughed. So anyways, I think that has heavily influenced me, but I do like it. But I do agree, everything you say that you have qualms with the movie, I agree with.
Yeah.
So
I found, and look, I would say kudos to the writer and director. I forget his name. Is it Denis Villeneuve? Is that? No, not him.
Yeah, I think so. No,
whoever the guy was, I don't remember. Kudos to him for trying to do a movie that went out of its way to not be political, and he did. Like, you're watching a movie about a civil war in America, and I don't know anybody's politics. I don't know who's on what side and why they're on different sides. They never, like, the word politics, I don't think was even in the movie. Never was the word conservative or liberal or Republican or Democrat even mentioned in the movie.
Yeah.
Nobody starts spouting off about politics or political views in the movie. Like, it's just a movie about, there's a civil war, and we're just watching these reporters, these journalists trying to get from one place to another. It's essentially a road trip movie, and that the subject of politics and why these people are fighting never comes up. All right. So kudos to him for trying to do something and successfully doing something that, unlike everything else that comes out nowadays, didn't try to make a political point. And I appreciate that.
Did they get the White Castle though?
But my biggest problem with the movie is, I think by doing that, you also took a lot of interest out of the movie. Like, there were seemingly, from an audience perspective, for me anyway, there was seemingly no stakes. I didn't know why one group was heading to Washington, D.C. to take out the president. I don't know what the stakes are. What did the president do? Like, why is half the country mad at the president, and why is the country now broken up into at least 5 different segments, 5 different groups? Why? What are the stakes here? Where's the weight of the story? And I think there would have been a way to do that without bringing politics into it. You know, although it would have been much trickier than just leaving politics out of it altogether and just choosing to avoid those conversations altogether. That was definitely the easier route to go. But I think it took something major away from the movie, which is, we know there's a battle. We know there's a civil war going on. We know there's these factions in the United States fighting each other. And at least one faction that we know of is making their way to Washington, D.C. to take out the president. But we don't know why. There's no weight to the story that makes me fucking get pulled into this backdrop that they've laid out to be the backdrop for a story about 4 journalists on a road trip. And I don't really care about the 4 journalists on the road trip, because even they in the movie don't really say why it's important that they go do this thing. They just say, oh, well, the president's about to be taken out and we need to get a quote from him. We need to get him on record before that happens. Okay, but why? Has it never happened before? What did this president do that made this whole situation so dire that you 4 are going to go risk your lives on this road trip to get to Washington? You get a fucking quote from him. Like, they took the impetus for the story and the reasoning for these characters to want to make this journey out of the story completely. And when they did that, you lost my interest. Like, I felt there was no weight to the point of the movie when you did that. It was just like, I can see if you're going to journalism school, or you're a journalist, or you're one of these fucking YouTubers who does movie reviews who thinks you're a journalist or whatever, okay, why you would love this movie, because it definitely tries to shine a bright, pretty light on, look at all the hard things journalists go through to get the story. And so I get why those people like this movie. But for the average person that doesn't give a rat's ass about modern journalism, okay, because let's be honest, modern journalism is a fucking joke today, okay? And I know they tried to portray these particular 4 journalists as like real old school wartime journalists that we all kind of grew up in the 80s and 90s remembering and kind of revering the things they did. But also keep in mind that the reason we revered the things that they did when they went to other countries and in the middle of war zones was because we knew what they were going into, and we knew what the conflict was about. We have no idea what this conflict is about. And modern journalists do not have the same level of clout and respect that they used to. Therefore, if you're not a fucking journalist, I don't know why you care about these characters at all. And with no context of why they're doing what they're doing, it just sucks all interest out of the movie for me.
Mm-hmm.
And that's my issue with it. And the other thing is, I mean, and a lot of people have brought this up, which is, you know, the trailers literally play every action scene from the movie in a 2.5-minute trailer, and then you watch the movie, and you know, 99% of the movie is just them on a road trip. Like, you know, and them talking and having serious conversations about,
and they don't even get White Castle.
They didn't even get White Castle, which is a shame. But that was my issues with the movie. I'm not gonna sit here and say, like, I won't give it, like, if you like the movie, and Duke, I know you like the movie, that's cool, man. I'm glad you did. There's plenty of movies I like that other people don't like, you know, whatever. I don't, you know, it doesn't bother me. It just, I
think Duke was out too when he said your thoughts about Rebel Moon Part 2. Did you watch it, Duke?
I don't think Duke's even watched Rebel Moon Part 1.
What's Rebel Moon?
Exactly. See, that's what I'm saying. Just Zack Snyder's sci-fi movie on Netflix. I liked the first one. The second one was fucking awful.
I hated the first one so much I didn't even bother with the second one.
So yeah, I don't know. There's not much to say there. The second one just came out this weekend, and it was awful.
They have a planet that can bombard. They have a ship that can bombard. I can't talk right now. They can bomb a planet from orbit and turn it to glass, but yet they send troops down to fight people hand-to-hand combat because of reasons.
Well, a part of it they tried to explain it in the movie, which is they need the resources from the planet, and they need the people to get to gather. That's why they first show up to the planet, which is, hey, we need food and resources for our troops, and we're not going to do it. We need y'all to do it for us.
It's not even a big farm,
the whole thing off. But
if it was a big farm,
no, by the second movie, when it becomes apparent that's not going to happen, that's when you would think they would have just been like, you know what, glass the fucking place. They're not going to do it.
Yeah.
So you would glass. In the first movie, it made sense why they didn't, because they were trying to get the people of the planet to do it for them. But when it becomes apparent that that planet's gone into full rebellion, in the second fucking movie, you just glass the fucking planet, which they didn't. So, I mean, they tried to in the movie, but they wait so long in the second movie, to try to glass the planet, that by the time they get ready to glass the planet, the rebels have already gotten on the ship and are fucking sabotaging the ship. It's like, why didn't you just do that from the beginning? Just fuck everybody up right from the get-go. But anyway, yeah, it's the second movie's fucking awful. Yeah, anyway, I think, you know what I think my biggest issue, though, is with Civil War, even more than the movie itself, is the people on YouTube, and I'm not talking about you, Duke, because we've had an honest conversation about why you liked it and why I didn't, all that kind of shit. But the people on YouTube who are making videos, some of these big channels making videos on YouTube about, if you didn't like the movie, you missed the point of the movie. It's like, no, Buttercup, I got the point of the movie. It just was not entertaining to me at all. Like, I got the point.
I think I found out they do add a lot of stupid bad movies. Oh, if you just didn't like it, you're not smart enough to get the message on them. No,
it's such condescending bullshit to say you didn't get the point of the movie. No, I got the point of the movie.
Movies are made for idiots nowadays, so it's not hard to freaking understand the message. They don't make thought-provoking movies anymore.
It sounds like some kind of after-school special. Yeah, Matt, we can't be friends. You didn't get the DARE program.
Yeah,
you're out with it, man.
Yeah,
like
this stupid shit, man.
Yeah, no,
it's like, no, I can just not like a movie and explain why I don't like it. That doesn't mean I didn't get the movie. I got the movie. I completely understand it's about, the horrors of war and journalism and all this shit in a war zone. I get that. It just wasn't interesting. To me, it wasn't. If you liked it, fucking awesome. That's great. I'm glad you liked the movie. I didn't like it. But anyway.
Yeah, JBM was the only good Civil War movie is Captain America.
Yeah. There's only a couple of good trailers that came out in the last week or so that I thought were worth talking about. Well, I say good. There's only a couple of trailers I thought that were worth talking about. The first one is they dropped the new trailer for the Joker 2 movie. Now, I really like the first Joker movie, like a lot. I love that movie. I thought it was a great movie. It is very different. It's, Joker, although I'm kind of numb to it because we've had so many different iterations of Joker over the years between movies and television shows and in the comics. And this was just like another version of Joker that I thought was done really, really well. I like that movie a lot.
Well, the original script of the movie, it wasn't even the Joker. They just retooled it a little bit to make it about the Joker to get a bigger budget.
Yeah. Well, either way, whatever they did, I love that movie. The trailer for Joker 2 looks fucking awful.
It's because he probably lost all control over the movie now.
It looks absolutely awful. First of all, and my biggest complaint, it appears that they're making it a fucking musical. Okay?
Yeah.
What the shit? Now, I've seen the reports where the directors come out and go, "Oh, well, the musical aspect, that's to show how crazy Joker and Harley are because, you know, they're having these little little routines and shit going on in their head, and they're seeing things, and to them, they're in the middle of a musical." I'm like, that's cool, but that still doesn't forgive the fact that you're still putting it on the screen, which means I have to fucking watch it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? I don't want to watch a fucking musical about Joker.
Like,
I don't
you could
like
do it.
musicals.
You could do it. You could do it for
have you seen the stuff
one
too?
scene.
I'm sorry, dude.
I think you could do it. You might be able to get away with it for like one scene if it's done really well and done really good.
And I'm fine with that.
I would forgive like one breakout, like when they break out. If they do something kind of goofy and kind of like wild, I would be okay with it. But not a whole movie, dude. I don't want to see a whole movie like this.
Exactly.
Have you seen like the DI like fanboys? People are going crazy because somebody connected to Joker 2 has announced that they think it's like a slam against like the conservative people who like the first movie. Oh, Joker's actually bisexual.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
The producer actually said that about the Joker.
Okay, well, he can shut the fuck up because that's not in the movie, so whatever. Just shut the fuck up.
There are people like on Twitter going like, ha ha ha, the guy you liked in the first movie is actually bi.
And here's the funny thing about it. Nobody gives a shit.
No, nobody cares.
Like, I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit if Joker fucks dogs. You know why? Because it's the fucking Joker. He's insane. It doesn't change the fact that the Joker is my favorite comic book villain of all time. And it doesn't change the fact that I like that first movie. It doesn't matter. I don't care whether... And here's the problem with playing identity politics in fucking movies. Is you make a stupid fucking point. Like, oh, well, you see, now he's bisexual. You can't like it. No, we never had a problem with that. I have been a geek my entire fucking life. Yeah. And as I have said many times before, don't come fucking preaching to fucking geeks and nerds who love comic books and sci-fi and fantasy that we don't like fucking people who are gay or black or women or bi or whatever. Because guess what? When y'all were still a fucking stain in your daddy's underwear, we had fucking Sarah Connor and Ellen Ripley and Princess Leia and North Star getting married back in the 80s in the fucking comic books, and black characters like fucking Storm and Black Panther and fucking like, you know, Rhodey and all these other characters. Geek culture, and especially if you're a fucking Trekkie, okay, we were far more inclusive than any other fucking group out there.
Oh, yeah.
So don't come to us fucking preaching fucking DEI bullshit woke modern politics, because we were the ones who were being accepting before anybody else was, so you can go fuck yourself. Okay?
It's like even Malibu Comics back in the day. They had the Strangers. One of the characters was gay, and
nobody gave a shit because we just loved good stories. The problem is now,
you know how much
changing characters and fucking up stories and saying it's for inclusiveness, but you're writing bad shit. You're fucking up longtime characters. You're changing longtime characters. You're changing longtime storylines just to make a fucking political point. Why not? Here's a little tip. Why not learn how to fucking write? And write good shit, and everybody would shut the fuck up. But no, you can't do that. So you take existing characters and storylines and tweak them to your own bullshit identity politics, because you never learned how to write a fucking script or a single line of dialogue that didn't fucking suck. And then when people don't like it, you want to say, oh, you're bigots. No, you just write shit. Okay?
Well, they
was ahead of the fucking curve on all this shit for decades before you little shit stains came along and started trying to fucking preach to us about how we're not inclusive enough. Guess what, motherfucker? We were more inclusive than you 40 fucking years ago, so shut the fuck up. Stupid ass bullshit. I don't give a shit if Joker's bisexual. Just write a good fucking movie.
Well,
That's all I give a shit about.
They want to do a victory lap. Oh, he's bisexual now.
Nobody gives a fuck. Just make a good movie.
Are you wanting to celebrate that a crazy man is bi? I don't think it's a win for you.
Oh, this insane serial killer is bisexual. Okay. Is that a good role model? Is that really what you want to do right now? Like, okay.
Well, they don't want to write stories where, hey, by the way, they just mention their sexuality and not be part of their entire personality. Now that has to be their whole
that's like the core of their identity.
Yeah.
Like whatever identity, and this is what I'm talking about. Identity politics have become the basis for everything, for storytelling, for characters, for everything.
When the other strangers asked him if he's gay, and they were cool with it, and they said, "Okay."
Yeah, nobody gave a fuck. And this is what pisses me off. Like I cannot emphasize this enough. Geek culture has been ahead of the curve when it comes to acceptance of people who are, for lack of a better term, not the mainstream, right? At least mainstream in pop culture, right? For a long time, it was just straight white people. But in geek culture, it wasn't. And so for these fucktards obsessed with identity politics who don't know how to write a goddamn thing worth a shit, want to come and preach to that audience base, to that fan base, and fucking when we bitch because a movie sucks or a TV show sucks or a change you made fucking sucks, just call us a bunch of fucking bigots.
Yep.
Fuck you, dude. No, we are not bigots. We just want good
I walked
shit.
away from Star Trek for a long time because they started that shit with Star Trek because they don't know how to write, and they were going, "Oh, you're just a bunch of bigots." It's like, I'm a Star Trek fan.
Exactly.
Don't go together.
Like, you cannot be a Star Trek fan and be a bigot. You cannot be an X-Men fan and be a fucking bigot. Okay? There are certain, like, it just, these things, Star Trek is the antithesis of bigotry. It has preached it since the 1960s. Okay? So has X-Men. Yeah. So have all these things. And you're going to go to that fan base and call us a bunch of fucking bigots? No. Don't blame us with bigotry because you don't know how to write a fucking movie or a TV show. And you suck because you're too goddamn lazy to learn how to write good characters. So you just co-opt other characters and just base their entire new personality on some identity politic fucking checkbox.
Star Trek has always been an ensemble type cast too. Yeah. You have multiple. You might have some people that's higher elevated in the cast, but it's mostly been an ensemble cast. That's one of the things I didn't like about like Discovery right off the bat. They had one character center focus. Yeah. To me, it's not Star Trek. That was the Michael Burnham show and the most unlikable freaking character you could ever imagine.
These little fucking fucktarded shit stains just don't comprehend how bad they are at their jobs. I'm sorry. You don't know how to write. You don't know how to direct. You don't know how to make good. You're not a good storyteller. Because fucking people who you used to shit on, by the way, all of us, okay, we grew up in the age where comic book writers and TV writers used to get shit on by Hollywood. Remember when people who were big wouldn't dare do television? And God forbid, comic book writers were shit upon in media, right? Nobody gave a fuck, okay? And yet these people came and wrote some of the most amazing people like Gene Roddenberry, people like DC Fontana, who fucking wrote many episodes of the original Star Trek and Next Generation, although many times she wrote under a pseudonym, right? DC Fontana, one of the most famous sci-fi writers in fucking history, right? Writing under a pseudonym for Star Trek. People like, whether you like him or hate him, people like Stan Lee, people like John Byrne, people like Chris Claremont. How many fucking people in Hollywood do you see talking about Chris Claremont? One of the greatest fucking genre writers in fucking history. Wrote some of the best fucking storylines and characters that are now being adapted into fucking big, huge Hollywood movies. And nobody even says his fucking name. And they were writing at a time when they got shit on for writing comic books or sci-fi television.
Hollywood didn't give a shit about Stan Lee when he was in the last year of his life. He was being held against his will by somebody pretending to be his manager. And Hollywood didn't give a shit.
Yep. These people got shit on their entire lives, and us real fucking fans fucking stuck by them every goddamn step of the way, loved what they were putting out there, absorbed their messages, their stories, all their shit. Okay? We supported that shit. And now these little fucking fucktwads want to come along decades later and fucking call us same people a bunch of bigots because we don't like the schlock they're pumping out. Well, guess what? You just suck. That's what it is. You fucking suck. You can't write a story or create a character worth its shit. That's the problem. Fucking come up with some good stories and some good characters and we'll like it. But until then, shut the fuck up and stop blaming us for being bigots because we don't like the crap you're writing. It's fucking retarded.
Mm-hmm. And it's never can take responsibility whatsoever for their failings. It's always
no, they fail. Oh, it's always because of bigots. It's because of bigots.
We need to ban YouTube reviewers. They turn the fans against us. Or you just write good stuff.
Did that to yourself. You wrote shit. You wrote a steaming pile of dog shit. That's what you did.
They have not made a... When was the last good Marvel movie?
It was Endgame.
Well,
no, that's not true. That's not true. Spider-Man was good. I like Shang-Chi.
I didn't make it through the intro of Shang-Chi. I thought it was dumb.
Shang-Chi? Holy shit, that's such a good movie, dude.
Well, I had such a preconception. So I know it's bad to make preconceptions of what it should be and what it actually is. Because Shang-Chi is not that character. They should have done, to me, they should have done the regular Shang-Chi, which they could have done a really cool like spy series.
So for me, like Shang-Chi is, and I'm a huge Kung Fu fantasy movie fan.
So
I love
not
fantasy movies from the 80s and 90s and all this shit. And it is like one of the best Kung Fu fantasy movies I've ever seen. It's fucking great.
With the what they should have done, to me, I would have felt I'd been more connected with it. I hate everything's grand scheme in every freaking Marvel movie now. The world's going to end in every movie. I like street level characters, which Shang-Chi actually is in the comics. He rebels against his assassin father on his first mission. Instead of assassinating his target, he joins the MI6 and to help try to take down his father, who is not the Mandarin in the comics. He is Fu Manchu, an immortal assassin.
My thing is to go to what I was saying earlier is if you're going to do stuff, if you're going to make changes, just write good shit. And regardless of the changes made to Shang-Chi, it was really good. Like, they did that movie well. To the point
I'll try to give it another try.
It didn't bother me that it was different. Like, they did a good job. They made Shang-Chi a character who I would fucking love to see in the Avengers. You know? And I don't think we're ever going to get there because everything's gone to shit since then. And, you know, but they're going to just reboot everything with Secret Wars. So it's probably never going to fucking happen. We'll probably never see Shang-Chi again. But
they messed up too much stuff, and the only thing left to do now is the reboot.
Yeah.
They muddied up everything, and they need to quit making the Disney Plus shows necessary to watch the movies.
Yeah.
That just turns general fans off. I gotta go do homework to watch the next movie.
Yeah. Now, here's another good one. Guardians of the Galaxy 3 was good.
Yep.
Guardians of the Galaxy 3 was good. And Loki. Loki was a good show.
First season, okay. Second season, really good.
Yeah. So they have done some good stuff. I will say, on average, since Endgame, I've enjoyed about half of what Marvel has put out. And half is dog shit.
The biggest thing I didn't like about the Loki series, they got Asgardians wrong. You take their powers away, they're still much, much stronger than humans.
No.
There's none of those agents could actually manhandle Loki like that, even without his powers. Of course, he is Frost Giant, but still.
Yeah. But there's been a lot of bad, and there's been some good with Marvel, but the consistency is the problem.
Yes.
And the consistency is just gone. There is no consistency with Marvel anymore. We had consistency for 10 years, man. It was very consistent. Mm-hmm. And that's just poof. It just disappeared after Endgame. So, you know, it is what it is, I guess. But all right, ladies and gentlemen, we have one more trailer to talk about before we get out of here. And me and Jared talked about this one last night on the chat, but that is the new Transformers 1 trailer dropped a few days ago.
Which I'm guilty. I was guilty of something I was talking about last night with Shang-Chi. Preconception of what I was wanting it to be and what it actually is made me not want to really give it a try. What's happening with Transformers right now? People have a preconceived ideal. They want the beginning of the Bumblebee movie for a whole movie.
Yeah.
Which I understand. I would love that too. But this looks like a fun movie.
Yeah. I really like the trailer. I mean,
I think it's just more I'm so used to Transformer reboots.
Mm-hmm.
I'm fine with it.
Well, we were talking about this last night, but like Transformers, I mean, literally, I don't think I'm even exaggerating. I think Transformers have been rebooted like 18 times.
Oh, yeah.
Which is more than any other continuity in geek fandom in the last 40 years.
Just in G1, what is dubbed G1 alone, you have I can't remember how many things it's considered G1. You got the original cartoon, you got the Marvel Comics, you got the Marvel Comics UK, you got the Japanese continuity, you got Dreamwave brought like G1 comics back. The IDW started up the Regeneration 1, which is a continuation of Marvel G1. Is it considered part of the G1? Beast Wars is considered part of G1 in some aspects too. So
yeah.
Just like when you was asking me about like continuity one time before, it's like, can you give me a rundown on that? It's like a brief summary. It's like, no.
Nope, I cannot. Yeah. Look, I mean, it boils down to this. The trailer looked good. It made me want to see the movie. It looked fun. It looked like it's going to have and that was the thing, because like it looked like it was going to be like, and that was the main thing I heard people complaining about, I think, was, oh, it looks like they're trying to make it funny. Well, no, it didn't look like they were trying to make it funny. It looked like they were trying to have humorous interactions between characters to the backdrop of a very important storyline of the Transformers, the Cybertronians rebelling against the Quintessons. And this is the beginning of that rebellion. Yep. But yes, it did look like they were going to throw some humor in, but I've seen plenty of humor in Transformers cartoons.
Yep.
So I don't know why people had a problem with that. It didn't look like they were making it a comedy. It just looked like they were going to have some humorous interactions between characters. I mean, look at all of the good MCU movies have tons of humor in them with their interactions between characters. And that doesn't take away from the weight of the story, So I don't understand the people getting upset about that. I mean, the trailer looked fun. It did exactly what it needed to do, which is get me excited to want to go see it. Because it was not a movie. Before I saw that trailer, it was not a movie I could have told you, oh, I'm definitely going to see it. But now that the trailer's come out, I'm definitely going to see it. That's definitely a movie I'm going to go and watch, hands down. So, I don't know what the big issue is. It looked fun. Yeah, it looked like a fun movie.
Like I said, I kind of wish it was, instead of Bumblebee, it's maybe like Ironhide or somebody, but I understand because Bumblebee's a kid favorite right now.
Yeah.
He's been a bit favorite for the kids since the Michael Bay movies.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, man, it looked
Every
fun.
cartoon series going forward now has Bumblebee.
Yeah.
That's part of it.
I mean, this is going to be a movie I'm going to enjoy seeing. I'm probably going to take my 2 younger daughters to go see it with me, you know, and it looks like a movie we will probably all enjoy.
Yep.
So, I mean, I don't know what,
they're hinting at the Megatron's like temptation to the Decepticons and stuff. He finds that giant Decepticon head with that looks like the Decepticon logo. And
I think they did a great job with the trailer, and if the trailer, which again I understand, trailers are not always indicative of a final movie, but if the trailer is indicative of the movie, I think it's going to be a good movie. So it's definitely good enough to get me to want to go see it.
And I like the fact they're mixing up different lores of the Transformers, and I immediately recognized that when those were transformation cogs they were given.
Yeah,
they look just like G1 transformation cogs from the cartoon. So they're really cool. Apparently, Optimus gets the Matrix near the end because he changes to his Optimus Prime form with the little toy.
Yeah, and like we were talking about last night, going into it, I thought one thing that was definitely going to bother me was that Peter Cullen's voice wasn't going to be in this.
Yeah.
But, I thought, from what was in the trailer, the way that they had Chris Hemsworth doing the voice worked fine. I was like, all right, cool. Like, it didn't bother me at all that it wasn't Peter Cullen's voice.
Mm-hmm.
Which, because as we were talking, we talked about this a little bit, but like, a lot of times when you see Chris Hemsworth, he gets played up a lot for his comedic aspect, which he's really good. He's a good comedian. But like, I was worried they were going to have him doing a little too bit of a goofy of a voice, but not at all. He was doing a fairly straight, serious voice, and it worked really well for Orion Pax. I'm hoping, we'll see, that right at the end of the movie, when he becomes Optimus, Peter Cullen's voice takes over. That would be cool. But I don't know if we'll get that. We'll see. Yeah. But,
personality-wise, so far, just you can't make everything but the trailer. He seems more like a hot rod than Orion Pax, which Ryan had a different personality too than Optimus Prime and had a completely different voice in the original G1 cartoon. And people are complaining you don't look like Orion Pax from the cartoon. I'm kind of glad because he looked like a doofus as Orion Pax in the cartoon.
He did kind of look like it. Hey, didn't they just come out with I don't know if they just came out. I saw a picture somewhere this week, and I don't know if it's a new figure that just came out or if it's an old one that people are just sharing pictures of because of this movie. But isn't there a version of Optimus that has like Orion Pax in it, and then you put all the shit on him to become Optimus?
Yes.
Is that a new one or is that an old one?
It came out a few years ago. Power of the Primes. I got one. I keep it in Optimus Prime mode. It's almost like a Power Master Prime way it's designed, but it's his.
Yeah, we're like the armor kind of flips over him and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. It looked pretty cool. I don't know, but I just popped into my head. But yeah, there you go. Everybody, if you haven't watched the Joker 2 trailer, go watch it and be disappointed like me. And if you haven't watched the Transformers 1 trailer, go watch it, and hopefully you'll be excited like I was. So
I liked it. I know people are shocked I liked it. So I'm just used to like 1,500 Transformers reboots. In the comics alone, in the past 2 decades, we've had a dozen reboots.
Yeah,
different continuities.
Hey, man. Again, it comes down to, is it good, right? And that's ultimately what it is. Is it good? Is the movie good? If the movie's good, I'm going to be happy. That's all. Pushing all the other bullshit aside, it is not unreasonable for people who are expected to go and pay for content to be able to enjoy the content. That is not unreasonable. And modern Hollywood makes it seem unreasonable. If you didn't like the message they put in or the way they changed a character or whatever it is, whatever the 100 fucked up ass things they do to establish franchises, that somehow you're being unreasonable, and it's your fault because you're a bad person that you didn't like this thing.
Or you're not an actual real fan if you don't just consume everything that comes out.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just such bullshit that I'm so tired of. Man, just make good shit. And don't be surprised when you make dog shit. And don't get all butthurt and offended and try to blame other people.
Mm-hmm.
If you made dog shit, you made dog shit. I'm sorry. Fucking deal with it. Move on. It's not like people haven't made dog shit TV shows and movies for fucking since TV shows and movies have existed. Just stop using some bullshit ass woke identity politics to defend your dog shit movie or your dog shit television show. Just stop. Just accept you made shit. Go figure out how to do better next time.
How many people that defended that horrible She-Hulk series
Oh, God.
and lie through the teeth? Oh, it's just like the comics. It's like, I've read the comics. No, it's not.
Yeah.
Like when they made that horrible Snake Eyes movie a few years back.
Yeah, which is nothing like the comics at all.
Like Larry Hama said it was good. It's like, yeah, it's his biggest paycheck ever. He don't get paid. He's in his 60s. He still have to do cons. They don't get paid well to do comics. Yes, he wrote the lore of everything in G.I. Joe, but he didn't make anything from doing it.
Yep.
Which is horrible. And that's why he's had to come out and say, "Oh, this is a great movie," even though he didn't think it was a good movie.
Yeah,
he's a good writer.
Yep. But here we are, modern entertainment, and this is why we do this show. Spend half the time bitching about stuff.
If you pay me $1 million, I probably would promote that movie too.
Yeah, no shit. I would totally. Although, I'll be honest, I didn't hate that movie. It just wasn't Snake Eyes.
Right. It's not
at all. Like, it was not a Snake Eyes movie, but I didn't hate it. Like, I thought I was fine for what it was. But
and that comes from Hollywood's nonsense, too, where the people are like, oh, only Asian people should be martial artists.
Which is so fucking racist, by the way.
Yes, it is.
It is so fucking racist.
The UFC?
Like, what the shit? Like, oh, this dude knows martial arts. We must make him Asian. What are you, fucking racist? What? Why does no? That is some ridiculously racist shit. Yet they don't even realize how racist it is.
And they actually lose the good message, like about not being racist from the original story. The Klan hated Snake Eyes for being an outsider, being a gaijin, they call him.
Yeah.
Because they didn't want the master teaching an outsider their martial arts. He was treated horribly for not being Japanese.
Yep. But yet here we are. Anyway. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's pretty much it for today. We're going to go ahead and wind this chat up. We had a good conversation. So takeaways from this, go watch Fallout. It's awesome. Watch the Joker trailer, watch the Transformers 1 trailer, and Hollywood is a bunch of racist, untalented hacks. So that's the takeaways you should get from tonight's chat. If you took nothing else away, take that. And I think that pretty much does it for tonight. But Jared will be back tomorrow night. He's got his work in progress, his Whip It tomorrow. And then we'll be back here on the NEA channel on Monday. So that is it, guys. Hope you guys have a great weekend, and we will see you guys next time. So